In today's show, we're going to be customizing this guy. This is Disney's Pixar Lightyear Zyclops. So stay tuned. Right, and welcome back to the show. We're going to go ahead and do a customized figure. We're going to go ahead and give him a black wash and some detailing on this video. I learned how to do it on the Surg action figure, but I figured let's go ahead and do it on this guy while I record it and be my first customizing figures with you guys on it. Before we begin, go ahead and make sure that you are following me on Instagram. Reach out to me, send me a DM. Let me know what you like, what you don't like about the show, and let's get to it. One of the things we're going to need is black shoe polish. We're going to begin with this on the figure to give him a black wash. So let's begin with this. Make sure you got everything ready to go. You're going to need a couple of brushes to get this guy going. And believe it or not, some Sharpies, yes, and a black Gundam pen and a red Gundam pen. That's for the little details, and then I'll show you what we do with that. So we're going to go ahead and begin. Let's go ahead and open up the shoe polish, get that going. Make sure you get the top off. Okay, after you open the shoe polish, go ahead and pour it in there in a cup, anywhere you have it, and we'll begin. Go ahead and take our brush. First thing we're going to do is dip the brush in there, get the figure over here, and start giving him a black wash on him. It's not even, this isn't even watered down. This is more of a direct wash to the figure, just to start giving him some color. As you guys can see, we'll begin with this leg first, just so you guys get an idea. What we're gonna do is we're gonna wipe it off with a paper towel or anything that you have, a rag or anything like that. And if there's any excess that you don't like, that it's still too heavy, I'm just doing it to tone down the yellow that's on the figure. We'll go ahead and do that there. Pick some of this up here, put it here. This is just to tone it back. You can leave it sitting there, but I wouldn't recommend it on the Surge figure. I had a hard time scouring it off. So if it's too black, I'll be taking some of that with a scour. Hopefully with the paper towel, I'll be able to take some of that off. Let me go ahead and move that over here. And you could already see the details are starting to pop. Pull that off camera, guys, real quickly. And right off the bat, you can see the yellow from one leg to the other. The details on that. Let's go ahead and keep wiping some of that off. And like I said, and if it's too dirty for you, take a hot water with a scour, with a Brillo pad or anything like that, and just rub it off. Put that there so you guys can see. And so far, this is what it looks like. So let me continue adding it to the other leg, and we'll cut back again. All right, so we're back. Okay, so we're back, and as you guys can see, it's a little bit darker than I would like. So I've got some hot water here. I got one of these pads. Get this out of the way over here. Sorry guys, but the studio is a bit small. Sorry we're not at the cave. We're just gonna go ahead and dip that in there and scour away the excess black while it's fresh. little bit. I purposely did it dark so you guys can see. Don't worry about the gray area. That part we're gonna use some silver leaf rub and buff. That stuff is great. Lasts long on it. You don't have to use that much to paint it. And we're gonna go over the gray areas just to make that area look more metallic versus that plastic gray. And as you can see, guys, already starting to look good. Again, guys, I kind of wanted that bumblebee dirty look, but not so much of it. I just want the crevices to come out, some of those details that are in there to pop out. So that's what we're hitting it with. So you guys can see it's washing off. See that? What a difference. So what I'm going to do is skip ahead. I'm going to finish giving him a black wash, getting the excess off, and then we'll jump in as soon as he dries up to start coating all the gray areas with metallics. Stay tuned. And now that we've got the figure a little bit dry, I'm just making sure I went back some areas that are still a little bit wet. If they are wet, the shoe polish, especially the areas that you're trying to get the rub and buff on, it's going to slide off and make it harder to dry up. Now, here's the beauty of this thing. The silver leaf rub and buff. You don't need a lot of it. You really, really don't. This thing goes a long way. So I'm going to go ahead. I've got my paper clip and my... again, guys, I'm not a customizer, so I'm using what I have to hold the things that I got. Either way, once we paint that and it's dry, it's just going to go on the figure, and I'm going to super glue it. So I'm going to go ahead and pour some now. Like I said, you don't need a lot. And we're going to take the rub and buff, and we're going to take this, and we're just going to just coat it. You don't even have to press down on it. The rub and buff will take care of that. We're just giving it the details. Now, what I like and what I seen when I did the Serg, I don't even know if I'm saying his name correctly, is that the wonderful thing that the black wash does is that any area that you're coating silver, I don't know, it makes it stand out. It really, really does. So we'll go ahead and get started here. You guys can see here, we'll lightly just start going over it just to give it silver, get in here. And man, I gotta tell you, this rub and buff stuff, this thing stinks. As you guys can see, now we're getting a metallic shine. The good thing is that you can continue using what you've already put on. It'll stretch out on the figure. So again, you're gonna want to start doing that, getting the silver on it. And just make sure you're getting it. Not all the areas that I'm going to be painting are going to be silver. Some yellow areas that I think would look metallic, like right here. Going to get that metallic shine. This disc here is going to get that metallic shine in it. So the rub and buff does take a little bit to dry, so give it a moment to dry before you move on. If you notice that it's still wet from the black wash, stop what you're doing, and let it dry. All right. So here's what it looks like. See how one leg. Now you can't tell on the camera. Maybe you can, the dark, but you see what a difference it makes now. And like I said, the rub and buff does go a long way. So some areas are probably going to give it gold, like those discs there. These for sure are going to get the silver, and in the legs as well. So once this dries up, this little contraction here, I'm going to take some cheap super glue and put it back in its place with glue in it and call it a day, because I don't want it to come out anymore. And we're going to visit back now once I've done all the silver. And as you can see, once we've added the silver rub and buff, it just gives it a whole different dimension. We're waiting for a lot of it to dry up. It does take a couple of days in certain areas that are still a little bit thick, as you guys can see here, the coloring here. So I got to keep going back with the brush, getting it in some other areas. But this one is already dry. So we're going to take the super glue. We got here this cheap super glue. I don't know if it's cheap or not. We're going to go ahead just put that in there. Pop this guy back in. That's pretty much it. As you can see, starting to look really, really good. The next step is we're going to let it dry a little bit more and start doing some gold detailings on this figure. So the next step that I did was, I actually did it off camera to show you guys. I used a Gundam pen to paint that because I love that pen. I love the glossy look that it has on it. So, and I did it off camera because the damn thing was bleeding. You know, in other words, the pen was running out, as you can see here in my hands. So I gotta clean it again. Don't know what the hell's going on here. I don't want to get this all over the figure after we spend this time together. So take off this glove, grab another glove, and we're going to continue. What I'm going to do is the other hand is got there. I'm going to just gently paint that red area, this part here that you see here, with that glossy pen so you guys can see. And then afterwards, we're going to do the gold accents on it, let it dry, and after that, we should be good to go. Let's go ahead and show you how I do this. And again, guys, this is just to remove a little bit of the black, pop out that red, because this color has got like a glossy, this Gundam pen has like a glossy color to it. And I discovered that because there's a trick that I like to do with these pens using a brush. And I realized after I did it on the Zerg character, I said, damn, I should have just done it with the actual pen. As you can see that glow there? It almost looks like there's a glass finish there. And that's what I like. I didn't realize it until I did my trick. So the next trick is I'm going to grab. And don't forget, guys, we still have the silver Sharpie. The silver Sharpie is just to get some areas that the rub and buff couldn't get to with the brush. And I didn't want to dirty up the small brush, because that's what we're going to use now to do the gold accents. And I'm going to show you how to do that carefully. Now, this is what you do. You take the pen, just like a spray can, shake it up for a little while. And the reason I don't use the felt tip of the actual pen is because I find that it gets stuck on the plastic, and then you put too much pressure and then you ruin the damn thing. So what I like to do is take the pen, I'll put it over here so you guys can see that. I like to press it down. You guys can see that on camera. Press the liquid out of it. Get that out of there. Close the top. And then take the brush. Get that gold on the brush. And we're going to go ahead, instead of using the pen, we're just going to apply it with the brush. Just makes it a lot better to paint with versus trying to get the felt tip to actually paint, under. Don't worry if it's got the gold there. I'm going to go back with the Sharpie and fix it. But again, this is just to demonstrate to you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish up the gold areas. As you guys can see here, I don't know if you guys saw that. Sorry, I don't know if I had it on camera. I was focusing on the paint. See that there? Using a brush. And then I'm going to finish up those areas there. We'll go back, and I think that we're going to be done with this guy. And then I'll put a before and after little montage of it, okay? We'll be back. And just like that, we are done. And just like that, we have the figure here ready. You guys can see I've added some gold in some areas just to break up, that silver in it. I'm still wearing the gloves because some areas of the rub and buff still are coming off, like this area here. But overall, it's a little bit darker than I would have liked the thing, but it's definitely a lot better than that. I was testing the Gundam pen, the yellow here, so I was cleaning it up in some areas here and there. But overall, aesthetically, it looks great. I painted the gold area there. Love how this came out. I love the way I did it on the Surge or whatever he's called. I keep messing it up. And since I got some silver here, I wanted just to break up the yellow, so I threw in that gold in there. As you guys can see on the bicep, it just gives it a different dimension. Put some red in some areas in there so you can see. He kind of with all the dirtiness has a little bit of that bumblebee on him, and that's okay. It's just pretty cool. The moment I saw this figure, I said, man, that'd be great to customize it. Not only customize it, but to add it to my DC world as the Magistrate Cybers, which is what I like from the Future State. And I think the next one, if I do get another figure, what I'm going to do from what I've been learning is I'm going to probably spray paint it first in a gray primer. And then I'm going to give it like a blue color, maybe a cobalt blue with silver, just to give it that Magistrate. Definitely this is great. And guys, I didn't do a review of the figure, and I'm not about to either, but I will tell you that for a figure that I paid 16 bucks for, Disney figure, this thing looks not only fantastic, he's got that aesthetics as the red robot from the Black Hole. Just looks phenomenal. You can tell it's Disney. The head does swivel. That's just fantastic. It's got 12 points of articulation. These areas here don't articulate, but the knees, everything else does articulate. I just love the way it looks. So what I'm going to do now at the end, not only on the thumbnail, when you guys click on the video, or when you clicked on the video, is I'm going to put a before and after. And at the end of this video, I'm also going to put some before and after pictures that I took of him before. And then we're just going to show off a little bit of the after, the figure. Again, it's a little bit darker for my taste. You may not see it, or you could see it there in the camera, but I'm looking at it through in the viewfinder. It just looks phenomenal. But I'm looking at it. It does look a little bit. I wasn't going for used up or grimy. I was more functional, but that's okay. I am happy. It's not perfect, but it's perfect enough for me, and that's what matters. So Again, guys, if you like the video, don't forget to hit the notification. Don't forget to hit the bell. And guys, most importantly, please go ahead and subscribe. Helps out the channel, gets me to my goal. Not to mention, I will leave a link for this figure if you want to help him. It does help out the channel as well. So again, this is Red. This is my first customized figure. Hopefully in the future I'll get more done. And again, love what I did. I hope you like it too. This is Red, and I am out.